Hello and very welcome everyone to this session of the current affairs. Today we are going to learn the current affairs of 26th of November 2024. So let's start and see that what are the things we can learn from this day and what are the things we can add into our notes. As we are discussing this particular day, we will discuss the relevant news and questions that we expect in our exams and general knowledge facts. So let's start and see that what are the things we have to discuss. So first of all, we have these topics to discuss. So I've got international news, national news, state news, banking and finance news, science and technology news, sports news, important days, ranks and reports, summits and conference, national news, appointments and resignations, and at last I will summarize the things for all of you. Before we start, the images used in our slide deck are for educational purpose only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So first news that we have with us is India AFTA trade deal, $100 billion investment to and boost to exports. So basically, India and AFTA, we talked about this deal happened in the recent news in November. So let's revise it and discuss that what has happened and what is the development. So India has signed a historic trade and economic partnership agreement with four European countries: Switzerland, Iceland, Norway, and Liechtenstein, forming the European Free Trade Association. So remember, the four countries are Switzerland, Iceland, Norway, and Liechtenstein. Agreement is expected to provide India access to 99.6% AFTA's market. That is the market that is particularly controlled by these four countries, as named as Switzerland, Iceland, Norway, and the other one. So, particularly, it is a big deal for India that India has particularly got 100 billion investment and boost to export. The deal is projected to generate $100 billion in foreign direct investment and create 1 million direct jobs over the next 15 years. The aim is to enhance India's global market position and reinforce initiatives like Make in India at Atmanirbhar Bharat. So remember that it is a big crunch we got in European market, and now we are dealing with the four countries that are EFTA, particularly known as EFTA, and European Free Trade Association, that is controlled by Switzerland, Iceland. Iceland is a country you will find in North Atlantic Ocean besides the Greenland. And apart from that, Norway, that is a part of Scandinavian Peninsula, and Liechtenstein is a country that you can find in Northern Europe. So that's all about that. Shivraj Singh Chauhan launches Nai Chetna campaign against gender violence. So Shivraj Singh Chauhan, the Union Minister of India, has of Rural Development and Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, has launched the third edition of national campaign Nai Chetna Pehal Badlav Ki in New Delhi on November 25, 2024. So Shivraj Singh Chauhan, who was a former Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, is now the Rural Development and Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Minister, and he has launched Nai Chetna Pehal Badlav Ki. This month long campaign aims to combat gender based violence across India. The campaign focuses on raising awareness, promoting community engagement, and strengthening support system for victims. It seeks to create safer and more equitable environment for all citizens. So remember his name. His name is Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and he is the Rural Development and Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Minister. And he started the Nai Chetna Pehal Badlav Ki to combat the gender-based violence across India. Confederation of Indian Industry launches new strategy cell. So CII, the Confederation of Indian Industry, has established a strategy cell in Coimbatore, that is in Tamil Nadu. The goal is to help business, especially in the manufacturing sector, develop sustainable growth strategies and become global players. The aim to support select industries by offering expert guidance, mentorship, and strategic advice. The new venture targets small and medium sized enterprises and provides them with the tools necessary for scaling up and competing globally. So do remember that Confederation of Indian Industry launches new strategy cell, and where it is based in Coimbatore. What is the basic goal behind it? So particularly especially in the manufacturing sector, sustainable growth strategies and become a global players, offering expert guidance, mentorship, and strategic advice to the upcoming industries and startups. So, for that purpose, a strategy cell has been introduced in Coimbatore by the Confederation of Indian Industry. Cabinet approved One Nation, One Subscription scheme. So, let's read out what it is. So, the Union Cabinet, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, approved One Nation, One Subscription scheme. The allocation of 6,000 crore rupees has been made for 2025-2027. The initiative aims to provide seamless access to high impact scholarly articles and journals for nearly 1.8 crore students, faculty, and researchers. So, particularly, the aim is to provide access to the scholars, articles, journals for nearly every student, faculty, and researchers. Access will be managed digitally through the InfliNet platform under the UGC, aligning with India's Viksit Bharat at the rate 2047 vision and National Education Policy 2020. Delhi government launches portal for old age pension scheme. So now, after the central government has launched the particularly the introduced the pension scheme on the classical basis. So now Delhi government has also launched portal for old age pension scheme. So Delhi government has expanded its old age pension scheme to include additional 80,000 senior citizens. This raises the total number of beneficiaries to 5.3 lakhs. AAP chief Arvind Kejriwal highlighted the government's commitment to social welfare during the press conference. The launch of an online portal aims to to make the application process more accessible and streamline pension distribution. So do remember that Delhi government has launched the portal for old age pension scheme, especially for the people or senior citizens that will benefit approximately 5.3 lakh people. Recently, under the Ayushman Bharat Yojana, so Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also launched a scheme under which a particular increment of pension will be there for the people aged above 70, and that will be done to the benefit to that will going to benefit to the people who are particularly above the age of 70 or more. ICAI signs MOU with CBSE to enhance the commerce-based skill courses in BFSI sector. So, the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India has signed a significant memorandum of understanding with the CBSE. The collaboration aims to promote commerce based skill courses, particularly within the banking, financial service, and insurance sector. So, particularly, ICAI is now collaborating with CBSE so that they can promote the commerce based uh, lectures and per courses in this particular schools and that are related to banking, financial service, and insurance. The initiative seeks to equip students with industry aligned competencies to enhance their employability and career prospect in accountancy and finance. So the aim is to particularly provide skill set from an early age so that when they will particularly done their graduation and they will be able to get the job and skillful with their skills that they have acquired during this um, course learning. The memorandum bridges the gap between academic learning and professional requirement. So do remember that ICAI signs memorandum with CBSE to enhance commerce based skill courses in banking, financial service, and insurance sector. S&P Global revises India's GDP and inflation projections. So S&P Global have already declared that GDP of India would be 6.8% earlier. And let's see that what they have revised. So the S&P Global ratings maintain India's GDP growth forecast for financial year 25 at 6.8%, while revising financial year 26 down to 6.7 from the earlier estimate of 6.9%. Agency raised its inflation projections for financial year 25 at 4.6%, reflecting persistent food inflation and supply shocks in agriculture. So there will be a little bit inflation in food sector and supply shock. And just to understand that, they have particularly raised the inflation projection to be 4.6%. Climate factors like changing rainfall patterns and heat waves have contributed to these economic adjustments. The Reserve Bank of India is expected to cut policy rates only once this fiscal year, with the repo rate held steady at 6.5% since February 2023. So remember that S&P Global has revised the India's GDP and inflation projection. Cabinet approves PAN 2.0 digital transformation of taxpayer services. So now you must have heard about this thing. So let's read that what it is. So now Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs, has chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has approved the PAN 2.0 project with the financial outlay of rupees 1435 crore. The project aims to upgrade the current PAN and TAN system. PAN is for individuals, TAN is for companies generally. PAN 2.0 will streamline and digitize PAN services, enhancing taxpayers' registration and service delivery. The initiative is the part of government's Digital India vision, focusing on improving digital infrastructure and making PAN a common identifier across various government systems. So, for this purpose, PAN 2.0 has been introduced. Now on, there will be a barcode and other things will be attached with your PAN card. So, for that purpose, PAN 2.0 came into being. Canara HSBC Life unveils Omni Gen AI to transform underwriting. So, Canara HSBC Life Insurance launched OmniGen AI, a groundbreaking generative AI solution aimed at optimizing risk evaluation in underwriting. The innovative system leverages cutting edge technology, that is, the modern technology on Amazon Web Services. OmniGen AI enables underwriters to make faster, more precise decisions based on comprehensive set of data points. Company aim to reduce errors, improve consistency, and accelerate policy issuance, enhancing operational efficiency and customer experience. So remember that Canara HSBC Life unveils OmniGen AI to transform underwriting. Shri Dharmendra Pradhan unveils the Teacher app. So Union Minister of Education Dharmendra Pradhan launched the Teacher app. The innovative digital platform was developed by Bharti Airtel Foundation. Remember that Bharti Mittal um, has recently been conferred with the Knighthood Award from United Kingdom. The app aimed to empower educators with the skills required to meet the evolving demands of 21st century classrooms. It seeks to enhance the quality of education through digital means. So remember, Sri Dharmendra Pradhan, the Education Minister, has unveiled the Teacher app, and particularly with the Bharti Airtel Foundation. And this is the particular empower educators with the skill required to meet the evolving demands of 21st century classrooms. 14-time Olympic medalist Emma McCon bids farewell. So now let's learn about her. So Emma McCon, a legendary figure in competitive swimming. So she's from swimming. Remember, Emma McCon is from swimming category and she's a legendary figure in swimming. Has announced her retirement on 25th November. 30-year-old McCon leaves unparalleled legacy as Australia's most decorated Olympian. She earned 14 medals, including 6 gold medals across 3 Summer Olympics. Her historic 7 medal performance at Tokyo 2020 solidifies her status as one of the greatest Olympians of all time. So, remember her name, Emma McCon. She particularly has declared her retirement from the competitive category, and she's a 14-time Olympic medalist. In the last Olympics, in the second last Olympics, 2020 Tokyo Olympics, she made history when she got 7 medal performance at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Samvidhan Divas, celebrating the 75th Constitution Day of India. So India celebrates the Constitution Day or Samvidhan Divas on 26 November. This day marks adoption of Indian Constitution in 1949. 75th Constitution Day is in 2024, honors the value of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. These principles form the bedrock of India's democracy and guide the republic. And on 26th of January 1950, we got a republic, and we got our constitution into enforcement, and we celebrate it as Republic Day. Remember, 26th of November is the day when the constitution was adopted and was signed by the 284 members of the Constituent Assembly who were there at that time. Who is the father of Indian constitution? That is Mr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, the first law minister of independent India. National Milk Day 2024, honoring the father of white revolution. So National Milk Day is celebrated every year on 26th November 19 in India. The day recognizes immense contribution of milk and dairy industry to the country's growth. It marks the birth anniversary of Dr. Verghese Kurien, the father of white revolution in India. Curien's initiative transformed India into the largest milk producer in the world, making this day a tribute to his legacy and celebration of milk as a vital nutritional resource and economic powerhouse for rural India. It was his work that we today known as particular company that is called a cooperative company of milk manufacturing that is called Amul. India's rise in the THE Interdisciplinary Science Ranking 2025. So, India has made significant progress in global university rankings, especially in interdisciplinary science. The Time Higher Education Interdisciplinary Science Ranking 2025 highlights this achievement. The ranking showcase universities leading in research and collaboration across different subjects. These efforts address global challenges like climate change, health issues, and technology development. So, do remember that India's rise in the THE interdisciplinary science ranking. THE is another type of ranking based in UK, and they particularly also defines the universities across India. Remember, IIT do not follow the THE rankings and do not take part in the THE rankings. According to the QS ranking this year, IIT has particularly marked the first position for 2024. PM Modi kicks off historic cooperative conference in India. So the global cooperative conference, we talked about this one along 2 or 3 days back, was inaugurated by Pradhan Mantri, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. The event also marked the launch of United Nations International Year of Cooperatives 2025. Several dignitaries, including Union Home Minister Shri Amit Shah, the Prime Minister of Bhutan, and Deputy Prime Minister of Fiji, attended the event. The Prime Minister of Bhutan is Mr. Tobgay. Conference underscores the importance of cooperatives in global development, especially for rural populations, women, and farmers. So, do remember that PM Modi kicks off the historic cooperative conference in India, and this is the first time this event was held in India in New Delhi. National Mission on Natural Farming Advancing Sustainable Agriculture. So, Government of India has launched the National Mission on Natural Farming with an allocation of 2,481 crore. The initiative aims to promote natural farming across nation, targeting 1 crore farmers and covering around 7,50,000 hectares of land over next 2 years. The scheme integrates various past efforts, including Bharatiya Prakratik Krishi Paddhati and Gobardhan mission to promote zero budget natural farming and other locally adopted farming methods. So, as we know that this is the time, this is the era where organic farming is in requirement. So, government is also working to enhance and support this natural farming or organic farming, and for that purpose, they have allocated 2,481 crore rupees mission on natural farming. Approved by Union Cabinet on November 25, the mission seeks to advance sustainable agriculture practices. Remember, the Union Minister of Rural Development and Agriculture and Farming is Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan. G. Bala Subramaniam appointed as High Commissioner to Maldives. So, Maldives is a country that is in Indian Ocean region, just south to the Minicoy Island. Minicoy and Maldives are separated by 8-degree channel, and recently India has also started the UPI ecosystem in Maldives. President of Maldives is Mohammad Muizu. G. Balasubramaniam, a distinct IFS officer, Indian Forest Foreign Service from 1998 batch, appointed as the next High Commissioner of India at the Republic of Maldives. He brings extensive diplomatic experience spanning key global postings. His appointment underscores India's strategic emphasis on strengthening its ties with the Maldives. Maldives is considered a crucial partner in the Indian Ocean region. So, do remember G. Balasubramaniam appointed as High Commissioner to Maldives. India appoints Dinesh Bhatia as a Brazil ambassador. So recently, Brazil was in news when Brazil opt out, became the second BRICS country to opt out from the OBOR expansion of China. And now India has appointed Dinesh Bhatia as the Brazil ambassador. Remember, G20 meeting of this year was also going to be held in Brazil, and because of that, the BRICS meeting was transferred to Russia. Indian Foreign Service officer Shri Dinesh Bhatia has been appointed as the next ambassador of India to Brazil. The Minister of External Affairs made the announcement on November 25, 2024, Mr. S. Jaishankar. 1992 batch IFS officer, Bhatia brings extensive diplomatic experience. He has served in multiple countries and various key roles both in India and abroad. The capital of Brazil is Brasilia, and a very famous city is Rio de Janeiro, and it is the fifth largest country in the world. Remember the name, Dinesh Bhatia. So let's summarize. So India after AFTA trade deal, 100 billion investment and boost to exports. Shivraj Singh Chauhan launches Nai Chetna campaign under gender violence. He is the rural development and farming minister, farmer agriculture minister. Confederation of Indian Industry launches new strategy cell. Cabinet approves One Nation, One Subscription scheme. Delhi government launches portal for old age pension scheme. ICAI signs the memorandum with CBSE to enhance the commerce-based skill courses in BFSI sector. S&P Global revises India's GDP and inflation projections. Cabinet approves PAN 2.0 digital transformation of taxpayer services. Canara HSBC Life unveils OmniGen AI to transform underwriting. Shri Dharmendra Pradhan unveils the teacher app. 14-time Olympic medalist Emma McCon bids farewell. Samvidhan Divas 2024 celebrating 275th Constitution Day of India. National Milk Day 2024 honoring the father of the White Revolution. India's rise in the Time Higher Education Interdisciplinary Science Rankings 2025. PM Modi kicks off historic cooperative conference in India. National Mission on Natural Farming, Advancing Sustainable Agriculture. G. Balasubramaniam appointed High Commissioner to Maldives, and Dinesh Bhatia appoints as the Brazil ambassador recently under the new appointments by the External Affairs Minister Mr. S. Jay Shankar. And that's it in this session, guys. I hope you learned a lot of things and gained a lot of knowledge with me, and your notes are updated with the current affairs session. So we will meet once again in next session in which we will discuss some more current affairs and will discuss some more things related to it. Till the time we meet, bye bye, take care everyone, and see you soon.